Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. Thanks for joining me today. I have a fun card to share with you. It's called a tent topper card, and I created these cards using the Glad We're Friends stamp set, which is in the brand new Stampin' Up 2022 to 2023 annual catalog. As you can see, the stamp set has 3 images of cute pets. There's a cat wearing a crown, a guinea pig, and this cute little dog sitting in front of the fan. And this little image, the I'm blown away sentiment, goes perfect with it. And the guinea pig, it's gonna be a great day. And then the cat, a friend like you comes along once in 9 lives. And then there's also Glad We're Friends. And my favorite, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Happy birthday. And then there's this little image of some little, well, they look like little diamonds and dots that you can use as embellishments or to just add something to the background, as I did here on this card. So this is the stamp set, and I have paired it today with the Stylish Shapes dies, and here are what the dies cut out. As you can see, there are 5 square sizes, 6 circles, and 4 banners. Now, these dies are very similar somewhat to some dies that retired with the 2020 through 2021 annual catalog a year ago. And those stitched shapes dies, of course, had squares, circles, and ovals. So I know some of you may still have these. I love them. I love to use them. They were, for so long, my go-to dies. But I was kind of hemming and hawing as to whether I should go ahead and buy the Stylish Shape dies. And as you can see, I did. And in just a moment, we'll do a little compare and contrast of these 2 sets of dies. But first, I do want to talk a little bit about this card. This fold of card, it's been around for a long time. It's called a tent topper. It stands up like this. The basic card base is made from a piece of cardstock that's 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 4 1/4, and folded into a square. And then you have a topper of some sort, be it, you know, the circle or the square or whatever you care to make your topper out of. And the goal is to make this 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches, just like a regular A2 size card. And this way it will fit into the Stampin' Up medium size envelope, which is an A2 envelope. So let me just kind of walk you through what you'll need for this card. I've got one that's pretty much all put together, but I'm going to just show you a couple little tricks, and it's using this little dog image. So what you will need, first of all, is your card base. And like I said, your card base needs to be 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 4 1/4. Now, all the measurements and the scoring and all the supplies I've used for the 4 cards I'll be showing you, you will find that on my corresponding blog post. And the link to that blog post will be in the description of this video. So, here's what we need for the card base. And then I have used a piece of basic white that is 4 by 4 to mat my designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. And then I have used this die to stamp thank you. And this thank you happens to be from the Cup of Tea stamp set. And it's right here. But as you can see, I have it, instead of thank you, the thank over the you, I have them side by side. And many of you know what I do. This is a photopolymer stamp set. The images are clear. So I took the thank you and I just cut it apart. So that way I can stamp like this. I can take that off. Ink up the U. And there you go. Then all I have to do is just stick it right back together. And it's very easy to do because it just goes right back together so nicely. And then I'll be able, for my next card, to stamp thank you. Just like that. So I don't do that with the red rubber stamps, the cling ones, but the photopolymer stamps, I'm not so afraid to cut them apart. So that's what I did to get this thank you. And of course, it is on here with some dimensionals. And then I've used these dots. They're the 2022 to 2024 in color matte decorative dots. They come in all 5 colors of the new in colors. And they are ombre shades of those colors, from darker to lighter, darker to lighter. Okay. Now we have this part of the card. As you can see, I have inside, I'm blown away by you. And this is another piece of basic white that is 4x4. Now, this piece of 4x4 that I have for a mat for our designer series paper, I actually cut this piece from it. But see, you can't even see. You don't even know it's missing. But here's my little dog image that I've stamped and colored. And then I used the largest of the stitch shapes die squares for him. And then I took a piece of the Starry Sky cardstock, and it is 3x3, and I just matted it on there. And now I'm going to put some adhesive towards the bottom, because we only want to adhere part of this to the card. I need to find there's my card. You could either use a piece of cardstock or paper that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, or if you have a card base laying around, you can use that. I just line my card up at the bottom. And then I line this part up at the top, center it as best I can, adhere it, and there is a cute little tint topper card. So there's that one, and then the one with the guinea pig, the cat, and of course the other dog. And there will be pictures, like I said, of these on my blog, and all the items I use to make those cards will be listed. But now I do want to talk a little more about these dies, because like I said, they really reminded me to a point of the Stitched Shapes dies. And here those are. You may remember. There were 12 of them. There were 4 different sizes of squares, 4 different sizes circles, and 4 different sizes of rectangles, which I do indeed miss these rectangles. I mean, I can use them for my personal use, but if I were to do a video and use them and you cannot purchase them, then, you know, that's not really fair to you. But if you do have them, I thought we would do a little compare and contrast. So here are the dies in real life. As you can see, the Stitched Shapes dies, which I should probably flip this. Oh no, there they are. These are the new ones. There are 5 squares, 5 different sizes, 6 sizes of circles, and then 4 sizes of the banners. And with the stylish shapes, there are 4 of each, 4 ovals, 4 circles, and 4 squares. Now, these do cut like a stitch, like they're little lines. These cut dots. You will see they don't cut, they leave like, it's almost more of an emboss, but it is sort of cut through. You might be able to see it better. Here's the stitch shapes. Right here, these have like, they're more like lines, like you have actual stitches. And then here are the stylish shapes. As you can see, they look more like they're paper pierced. There's little dots, little hole. Well, that's a little, might be a little blurry, but there are little holes. Now, these dies also, as you might have noticed, they have 2 rows of the little dots. And what that means is when you cut it out, yes, there will be the little dots here, like the paper piercing on your die cut, but also if you wanted to use the negative cut for, say, a frame, it has the little dots as well. So it would just add a little something more to your frame. And here's the banner. As you can see, it's the same. There's the little piercings right there. And then this is from the stitch shapes from this oval right here. And as you can see, it's plain. It doesn't have the stitching. It only had the stitching on the die. So these are the new ones, the stylish shapes dies. There are 15 of them as opposed to the 12 of these. All of these circles and these squares are different sizes than these and these. But I have found that there's several of these that you can use if you have this set and you order this set. You can mat them, so you can layer them. So I am happy with my stylish shapes dies. I'm also still very happy with my stitch shapes dies. I don't miss them as much now since I have these, but I do miss that oval. So we'll see, maybe Stampin' Up will bring out some more oval dies at another time. But that's just a little contrast and compare to the stitch shape dies, which, like I said, are retired, and the stylish shape dies, which are in the new catalog. And actually they are on page, let me see what page that is, 175, right here. And as you can see, they do fit through the mini cut and emboss, which of course means they will fit through the regular cut and emboss machine as well. And they are standalone dies, meaning they're not paired with any particular stamp set in the catalog. So that's just a little look at the new stylish shapes dies. And of course, this cute little Glad We're Friends stamp set. And the tint topper cards. There's the cat. And again, more information about these cards and the dies and the stamp sets will be on my corresponding blog post. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And until next time, stamp happy.